Joining us now to talk more about this, Tennessee Congressman Mark Green. Congressman Green is also an emergency room physician and an Army Special Operations veteran. Congressman, great to talk to you and great to have you back.
Thanks for having me.
I don't know if I can speak for a lot of people, but, as an American, I don't ever want to see my president or vice president wearing a mask, especially considering the testing that's going on. And I would hope that no matter who the president or vice president is, they have some sort of secret antibody available to them.
Yeah, I think that's something that you mentioned in your sort of startup about the percentage of people that think social distancing should happen, and that number actually surprises me. But it has clearly worked in delaying or flattening the curve, I guess is the term everybody wants to use. So, doing the social distancing and continuing it is actually a good thing.
Yeah, and I think what it also shows us, if you dig down the crosstabs, too, of that poll, it shows that most Americans think that these measures are responsible and they're going to adhere to them because they know they're working and they don't need necessarily the government telling them how to live their lives.
No, that's absolutely right. I think while I'm willing to bet, and I don't know if you asked the question in that study or whoever did the study asked about people whether they want the economy to open up, those are mutually exclusive decisions.
Right. Continuing
social distancing and opening the economy, that's the path we need to be going right now.
Exactly. So things are opening up in, a broader way today in Tennessee. And how important is this to the state's economy? And how do you think the citizens of Tennessee can handle it?
Yeah, 15% of our workforce is on unemployment right now. And it's just crazy the impact that this has had. $5 billion off our GDP in the state of Tennessee. It's a big hit. We've only had about 180-something fatalities to the virus. The predictions were that Tennessee would have 7,000 shortage on 7,000 beds in our hospitals, and we only wound up actually using for COVID about 800 and something beds. So we have done an amazing job with social distancing, flattening the curve, and it's time. If you look at our numbers, we're trailing off. It meets the criteria the president issued, and so it's time to get back to work, and we are. Today, retail opens. I think restaurants opened on Monday. You got even gyms are allowed to open on Friday. So we're moving pretty quickly, and I think it's appropriate based on where we are in our curve.
And of course, we always have to emphasize this because this was not about preventing people from getting the disease per se. It was more about the ability of hospitals to handle the capacity, and hospitals now seem to be in much better shape as well. One last question for you, Congressman. Yeah. Talk of returning to Washington, D.C. Nancy Pelosi and the Democratic caucus says it's not safe. What do you say? You're a doctor.
Honestly, with all the precautions that they have, we just went back and voted. And with those precautions, those social distancing precautions, we're probably the safest place on the planet. We had hand sanitizer going in. We put on masks. They filed us through the House chambers in a certain direction, sanitized the little buttons we push each time. There is adequate social distancing at the U.S. House, and we need to be back to work. We've got so much of the National Defense Authorization Act. We're way behind on that. We're talking about funding and authorizing the United States military.
Just a minor detail, right? Just a small little detail we got to concern ourselves with. This is the stuff we'd be talking about, Congressman, if this weren't a bigger pandemic. We'll have you back. I would love to talk more about that at a different time. Unfortunately, we got to go. I know you're busy. And I know Nancy Pelosi is not really that concerned based on her choice of attire, her little scarf she's been wearing to accent this situation. All right, Congressman, great to see you. Thanks so much.
Good to see you. Thank you for having me.
All right.